Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the discussion of the disability journey, saga, whatever you want to call it. So, a week ago, Tuesday, I finally had my hearing. It was supposed to be April of last year, and then it got postponed to September, and then it was actually on February 2nd, 2022. So the way it happened was I had multiple letters from Social Security telling me when my hearing would be. I had to call and confirm that I would be at my hearing. Then the clerk of courts called my advocate, got her on the phone. Then the clerk of courts called the judge, got the judge on the phone, and the judge and the advocate talked for a little while. And then finally they called and they got me on the phone. They introduced everyone, and then the judge swore in me, and I guess a witness for the state, whose job is to talk about whether or not I'm capable of working any 3 jobs. They don't have 3 jobs in relation to what I'm trained for, just any 3 jobs. So we got to talking, and the judge asked me a lot of questions. I would say it was an uncomfortable situation at best. I was very uncomfortable. And in that process, the judge determined, I don't know what the right word is, that I had not had the state mental health assessment. The way it was explained to me was they stopped doing them because of COVID. So like right when I applied for disability, but now they're doing them again. And so because there's access to them, he wanted me to have one. And my advocate, I guess, had requested it just to have it on file because I do have mental health diagnosis. I have depression, anxiety, panic attacks. And so even though those are all documented in my medical records and I take medication for them, there's not enough documentation to show how that's progressing or not. So anyway, he wanted that test. At the same time, you have to turn in all your medical records within like a week of your hearing. And so in that little week time frame of everything we turned in, and when I had the hearing, I actually had like a yearly mental health assessment where you fill out the form at the doctor's office, and they are you feeling down? How many days a week do you feel down? And somewhat, all the time, always, every day, whatever. A lot of people get those. I think there's one for like alcohol and drugs, anxiety, depression. There may be some other ones, but you fill out the little forms, turn them into the doctor. I was there for a referral for a surgery, but it was just the time to do the forms. So the judge, and in that conversation, there were some recommendations made for changes of my medication. So the judge wanted those records. So he postponed my hearing again. It is not common to have a hearing postponed at all, and I've now had mine postponed twice. So he wanted my medical records from that appointment within the week. And I'll say having it postponed again, my physical disability now needing to be tied to mental health, I spent the last week just stressed out, devastated, upset. There's so many complicated layers to all this, but one of the additions to the stressor was I now needed to get those mental health records within a week. And my doctor's office, once you submit for medical records, it takes 30 days. So I don't know if you know about like electronic medical records we can sign online. I have an app. I got into my app hoping I could just print out my visit summary notes and give those to the judge, because he has accepted those for other things. Because, I mean, they're official. Well, there's no notes under that appointment. So I wrote a note to the doctor's office and was like, is there any way I could get my notes? And they responded that I had to do medical records. So I called medical records and explained to them my situation. Like, I have to have these in a week. I can't do 30 days. And they were just so kind, so accommodating. They told me to submit an electronic medical records request for that one particular appointment, and they would do everything they could to get me the records. So that conversation took place on a Wednesday with the expectation that we could get the records by Friday. Monday morning, I still didn't have the records, so I messaged them again, just making sure I hadn't, forgotten a step, did they need my fax number, did they need my email? And they very quickly responded. I mean, they were so quick, it was amazing. So the doctor's office, the medical records people were like, let's just confirm your email. So they did. A few hours after that, they responded, they would have the records to me soon. So I was feeling pretty confident, because I was supposed to have everything to my advocate on Tuesday. And this is Monday afternoon that they're telling me they'll send them soon. So I was finally calming down and feeling like everything was going to be okay. And then I got a notification that I got a message from them, and they were apologizing, and they were like, there's no notes here. It usually means the doctor hasn't finalized his notes, which is exactly what I had asked them to do at the doctor's office the week earlier. Now, I'm not holding anything against the doctor. I was there for a referral to a different surgeon for my breast reduction, because I had gotten a second opinion, and they wanted me to go to OHSU because I'm considered high risk. So I went to him to get a new referral to the high risk hospital. So he had told me he had to do some research and read over my old notes, because I had changed doctors. And my physical therapist had sent my new doctor all the information. So he needs time to do this, plus taking care of all these other patients. It just happened to be that the judge needs him to move a little faster on this one portion. So Monday night, I'm pretty upset, as you can imagine. And then I'd called my advocate and told her what was going on. And her response almost felt like she didn't believe me. She didn't either believe that this was happening with the doctor, or she didn't believe I'd actually had the appointment. And I just fell apart. It's just been so stressful, so much. And thank goodness I called my younger sister. My older sister's been very supportive too. And my younger sister, in that moment, was like, you can't let people make you feel this way. You can't let the advocates and the judges and all that. Because I'm just a strong person, usually. But I've been hit real hard the past couple years, so sometimes it gets tough. So I did a bunch of research to see if I could get a different medical doctor. I found some online things that take health insurance, let you do face-to-face meetings with psychiatrists. They did an online assessment. So I was like, well, maybe this will be enough for the judge. So and then I researched all my medical records, and I found my exact diagnosis codes, like they use for insurance. I found a list of active conditions, including mental health, and I found a letter from my previous doctor. So I sent all that to my advocate, and she basically was like, I can't do anything with this. So I got kind of mad. I sent her a response of I don't know what to tell you. I've done everything everybody's asked. And she called me immediately. She responded with a lot of kindness. And was like, she said, I'm not mad at you. And I was like, well, it seems like you don't believe me. It seems like you're angry. And she's like, I'm actually angry at the situation. She's just feeling the same stress I am, and was a little bit worried about maybe I was misremembering the date of the appointment, because I don't have the best memory because I take a lot of medicine. So in that conversation, I found out she's also very sick, like very sick. And I won't go into her business, but it's not good. So, this is Tuesday, and we have to send the judge everything Wednesday, which is yesterday. And we've got nothing to send. Nothing new. So I guess she just called him and left them a message and said, this is what's going on with Catherine's doctor's office. This is what's going on with her medically. And then told him what was going on with her and asked him if he would just order the psych eval so we can get it done. Which I have really mixed feelings about. I don't want to tell some stranger from the state about how years of chronic pain and exacerbated by the loneliness of COVID makes you feel. I would like them to just recognize it doesn't feel good and move on, but I guess it's not going to work that way. So I guess the judge will get the results from that test, and now I have something called a supplemental hearing. I don't understand, but I will find out more. What I think I know is that the supplemental hearing will only be involving the mental health assessment. So now his decision will solely be based on everything he knew about me, but if the test confirms the mental health, he'll make his decision from that. So here we sit again, not knowing. There was a moment I about gave up. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I don't want to do this disability crap anymore. I don't like people accusing me of whatever they're accusing you of, The judge, the witnesses for the state, everybody reviews your case. Their whole job is to say you're not what you say you are. And after years and years of it, it wears you down. And that's the point. They want you to quit. They want you to give up. Otherwise, the system wouldn't make people not be allowed to make any money, not be allowed to even try to get better, and have them do that for years. Like, how are you supposed to survive? I'm the lucky one that has family and friends who are super supportive. Not everybody has that. I've heard horror stories of people dying before they get their disability because it's taken so long. I don't have anything terminal. I just have permanent, nerve damage and some other stuff. But this process is not for the faint of heart. And I implore you to do research and learn other stories. And somebody out there is going to have the energy to become an advocate, not like the advocate who's helping me through the process, but the advocate to change the system so that our Social Security safety nets aren't so abusive to the people who need them. So yeah, sorry for the delay for the update. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't share the story. I still can't share the whole story because it's my story and it's not comfortable. But I will keep sharing as this unfolds. Hopefully I'll hear something from the judge or the state in the next few days to find out if they're going to have me take the mental health exam or if the judge is just going to make a determination. So thanks for following my journey. I'll talk to you soon.